About me in brief, my name is Sanjay, and I'm a CCI in data center. I'm also I have an experience of working in various organizations at various levels uh, in routing, switching, service provider, data center, security, automation, and I'm also a trainer since around maybe 15 years roughly. I have a total experience of 20 plus 6 years in networking, and in training, it's more than 15 years. I've been teaching enterprise infrastructure that was earlier called as routing switching, and then security, Cisco security, service provider, data center, of course, and then ACI and SD-WAN and all those things. We have one of the topic, one from them is this Nexus, which we are going to cover. But if you go for the like certification like CCI in data center, then we have a very good part about storage also, and definitely ACI is a bigger one. But ACI we are not going to cover in this one. So if I'm not wrong, we have to cover the basics of the 7K and 9K, the hardware architecture, then the layer 2, which we have, I think everybody has a good knowledge comparatively, but we still have to review those things like creating, VLANs, port channels, interfaces and all. Then we have STP, then we have the routing protocols, VPC. Advanced VPC configuration means we'll go a bit more in detail in VPC. Then we understand about the fabric path. Any one of you who knows about fabric path already? Then we understand the VPC with 5K and 2K. Do you know, guys? Do you know about 2K switches also, guys? Anyone?
Yeah, fax switching.
Fax switches. Yeah.
Fax. Okay, great. Then we have the lab. So these are the topics which we are going to cover, and we'll try to go from the starting point. Okay,
Oh,
what is the host name of this device, guys? NSOS V01, correct?
Correct.
Now, suppose I have an iOS device and I want to change the host name of this device. How do I do that?
we do host name and whatever the host name you had.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll go to the config mode. I'll say
Yeah.
host name. So if I say ABC, it will be straight away ABC. Right, guys?
Correct.
If I say no, I want the host name to be NSOS
V0.
V01, I'll just copy paste this and straight away it will be changed. Have you seen any device whose host name is not important in your production environment ever?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
It
host name is
represent, yeah, it represent you where the device is located.
exactly.
Like, so, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, the location is important, or maybe it is a core switch or aggregation or whatever. So accordingly, we give the nomenclature, the name of the device. Now, if you have done only on IS switches, you have used the command host name. But Nexus switches support host name as well as the other command, which is switch name.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in the future, because it makes more sense, it is actually a switch. So I'm giving the name to a switch, not a host. Okay. Okay, I got the lab. Thank you, Kanam. So if I say switch name ABC, it will also work. So switch name and host name, both commands are available in Nexus, and host name command is available only on iOS switches. Switch name command is not available. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm starting from the basics, the very basic things. Now, if I say show IP interface brief, you should be well aware about this command. If I give this command in iOS switches, will it work?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Actually, no, because I'm in config mode.
Oh, must
We
do.
can do.
So you can do so IP interface brief.
Exactly. If I say do show IP interface brief on iOS switches, it will work. But here, it it will work, but actually the do is not important in
required,
Nexus
yeah.
switches. Exactly. So IP interface brief will also work without do, irrespective of the mode where you are in. Now, suppose I say show interface status, and I want to configure E1 by 5. I'll say interface Ethernet 1 by 5 or E1 by 5. I am in this one. Now, sometimes if you have seen, I don't know where I am actually. I might be in maybe in a port channel, or maybe in the line mode, line V2 and all. So if I am not clear, it happens. Even I myself has faced this earlier. I will use where command. in Nexus OS. He will tell me you are in config mode under interface E1 by 5. And you're so if I say where, it will tell me in which mode where I am exactly. Sometimes in iOS, what happens is, we do mistakes. I did that long back.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do something and I was supposed to exit out and do something.
Okay.
So if I'm not sure where exactly I am, you can use the command where. Definitely, as a good network engineer, you will use this command very rarely, but sometimes these commands are useful. You should be
And
aware
this
of that.
command will work only in global config mode, right?
No, 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 because it is telling where exactly you are.
No, no, I'm telling this command will work on global config mode only, or we can exit out and we can see
Yeah, yeah,
on enable
anywhere.
mode also.
Yeah, yeah. You see
Oh,
now where you are,
yep, yep.
right? So where
Hmm.
command, do command, these are all the very, very small thing to be honest, but we should understand.
Yeah.
So in
You,
iOS, it won't work, right?
it doesn't work. Yes, it
Okay,
does not
okay.
work in
Because I
iOS.
haven't seen. Yeah.
Even for me, it's the first time I'm seeing this command.
Okay. Next thing I'll say, if you might be knowing about this command, show mod or show module.
Mm-hmm.
When you see this, it will
Mm-hmm.
tell me about the hardware, the modules I am having. Uh, this one doesn't have that one which I was looking for because it is
Yeah.
a virtualized device. But you will see the line card. The line card can be, you will see F in front of them or M in front of
Sam
them.
mode. Yeah.
Right? M is basically L3 card, layer 3 functionalities, which will have the basic layer 2 functionalities as well. And
Mm-hmm.
F is full functionality layer 2. So F is layer 2, M is layer 3. Whenever you
Okay.
see any line card, if you see the word F, it is layer 2. If you see M, it is layer 3.
Okay.
Okay.
So like F is also having different version, right? It's
Yeah,
like
of course, F1, F2, we have, modified
so.
versions of that.
Okay, so F1, F2, and all these things also it's a layer two.
Yes, all the F are layer 2,
Okay, okay,
fully functionality layer
but
2
it
card.
support the layer three also functionality, right?
Uh, the very, very basic kind of thing,
Okay, okay.
like management IP and all.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see M cards, they are
Mm-hmm.
layer 3 cards with basic layer 2 functionalities. So it's like, I'm dividing router and switch. So
Mm-hmm.
M is for L3, F is for L2.
L2. Yeah.
If you see actually in your production demand environment show module, you will see the line cards and you'll see either it will start with F or an
F
M.
or M.
That's it. Sorry. Then license.
Okay.
It
So license summary.
Yeah. Have you used this command?
Yeah,
Is
summary, all usage.
yeah.
Because this is a virtualized environment, it is not
Mm-hmm.
showing. But then, are you aware about the grace period?
Yes,
Grace period means the time the Cisco
default
have
time
given to you. Yeah, 120 days, I believe.
Yes.
90 days, maybe.
No, it
Huh?
is 120. 120 days
120.
120. Yeah.
by default. 120 days. If you go in the market and you say I have the basic knowledge or seasoned kind of knowledge in data center, they
Mm-hmm.
will ask these type of questions which I'm discussing right now, which we
Mm-hmm.
generally discuss in the first class in the introduction class. Okay. Uh, what do you know about VDC, guys? VDC.
Before going to VDC, can I ask you one question if you don't
Please,
mind?
please.
So this so license files, it will show you the file, the license file. Suppose I have a license file. Suppose this is Nexus 7K.
Hmm.
I'm using a so license file. I put up this command and I got the license file. Okay.
Hmm.
Now I want to go to the another Nexus 7K device. Can I use the same license file, or I have to go to Cisco again and ask for the new license file for different 7K device? Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to
Yeah, the license is actually bounded with the host ID, the chassis for that. So it will
say.
be a
Okay.
different one.
Okay.
So, guys, coming back to the point, what all you know about VDC?
Yeah, VDC, we can divide our physical switch to multiple logical switch.
Wonderful. It's like a context in firewalls we use.
Yes,
Guys, I'll
virtual device
request,
content.
yeah, I'll request everybody to speak up whatever you know because I'm looking at who is saying what, and accordingly, I'll change the direction and speed of this batch. VDC is basically what? So I got a box, any
Mm-hmm.
iOS switch or maybe Nexus switch. So in iOS, what we prefer is we prefer one core layer, then we have one access, or first of all we got the distribution,
Distribution.
and then we have an access layer.
Access. Yeah.
Uh, so, what is the difference between these three layers, guys? What is the
Access
difference? Mhm,
access is a kind of like it's basically to support like uh, you- with access switches the hosts are connected. Okay, endpoint devices are connected.
mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
and through that
Mm-hmm.
all the other functionalities happens. Okay,
mhm.
and like if you talk about distribution.
Yeah. So access is like if any end device wants to access the network.
Yeah.
That's known. That's why this layer is known as the access layer switch or access layer. And the switches in access layer are basically layer two switches, but it is not
Mm-hmm.
mandatory. You might be seeing a lot of times where
Yeah.
they
Yes.
are using an L3 switch here, or
Yes.
yeah. Distribution is a layer which connects the access layer switches together, and generally it will be this lower part will be L2 and this part will be L3 generally as a good design. You create or connect all the firewalls, load balancers, and all those things generally
Mm-hmm.
in this distribution layer, not to the access layer, not to the core layer. But then again, that is not a hard code rule. It's up to your design. Core layer are a very high layer, high speed devices, generally routers, so that their work is to just transfer the traffic from one point to another. That's it. Generally, that is the scenario. So the point is that if I have to have this kind of layer, I will have to buy three separate devices, isn't it? I Do you agree?
Yes.
Obviously.
Can't we connect user to the core switches also? Then core switches, then access distribution, then core
Uh,
device.
well, I have not seen, but yes, you can connect. But the purpose of the core layer is to having very low latency, and they transfer. Maybe if the user wants to go to internet, or maybe he wants to go to somewhere else. That is
MPLS.
the purpose of core layer, the
Okay.
backbone. But
Got it.
generally, the user is connected to the access switches where we configure the VLANs and all those things, QoS and all the basic things. Now, the point here to understand is I will have in this kind of architecture, I will have to have three different devices.
Devices.
Three different devices means this much of place I need. Space is will be a requirement. And the second thing is you will have to manage each device separately and the cost ultimately. So, and you might have seen, if this switch is having, maybe this is a 4500 or a 6500 switch, it is having a lot of interfaces. Most of them are unused just
Mm.
because I have bought it, or maybe I don't need it right now. Or for scalability, I have kept it as if now, and in the future, I'll use it. But most of the time, you will not see that, all the ports are being utilized. So I'm not utilizing the device fully. So what they came up is in Nexus, you can have one physical box, but logically you can divide it. When you divide it, everything will be separate except the management. It will appear as a two different boxes. You will not even know that there is actually it is a part of another box. That is VDC. Say I created this VDC as let me do that in this way. I will divide this to show you like this. Now the boxes are this box and this box. There will not be any connectivity even from the back end. You will have to connect a cable if you want to have the reachability for the traffic. I can use this as core and this as distribution. Are you getting the point, guys? So I don't need to purchase two different devices. With the use of a single device, I can utilize one part as the core, one part as the distribution.